Bearing in mind that you're effectively addressing two audiences, potential residents and their families, it can be easy to fall into a trap of speaking to neither directly. I would hope that everyone in the care sector will be switched on enough to avoid lapsing into "do they take sugar" syndrome. But you'd be surprised at how many communications make the mistake of consistently addressing their audience in the third person. Consider the difference between these two statements. Our staff are here to help our residents to continue doing all the things that they've always enjoyed. Or, we're here to help you continue doing all the things you've always enjoyed. I hope that it's obvious which of these statements appeals more directly to the reader, giving them more ownership and a sense of empathy. And if the reader happens to be a member of the family rather than the potential resident themselves, that's fine too, because they'll appreciate the fact that their loved one has been spoken to directly as an intelligent individual. Addressing the resident directly does no harm, even if they're not the ones making the decision. It can only help. The messages that you want to get across are of course going to vary widely depending on the individual communication. However, regardless of your content, there are a few pointers that it's worth trying to bear in mind if you want your message to be successfully received by an older audience. State your main message right at the start. If you bury the important message in the middle or towards the end of the publication, or even within a paragraph, it may not get properly digested or even read. Limit the number of key points. Try to stick with a maximum of 3 to 5 points per section. Make your message brief to help compensate for possible short-term memory limitations. And, for the same reason, break lengthy documents into short sections or paragraphs. This will help an older audience to remain focused and not get distracted in the middle of a long section. Support information with real examples and relatable stories. This helps to embed and reinforce the message. Using a story can also help older readers build on information that is already familiar to them, as it may connect them to past experiences. Repeat the main points multiple times. This will help the reader recall and retain the information. It might be worth starting with an introductory summary paragraph or bulleted list and ending with a summary. Introduce what you're going to say it, repeat what you said. Use headlines and subheadings. These help the reader to navigate around the text, as well as providing an easy way to achieve repetition. Reinforce main points with questions. Research suggests that inserting questions related to the main messages into the text may help readers recall the key points. Things like, what activities do you enjoy? Or, do you like to have family and friends round to visit? OK, now we've got all the text sorted. What about design?